You're listening to the Low Pressure Podcast, the podcast for skiers.
For whatever reason, I mean, we started TGR. I was young when we started TGR. You know, it was like.
How did that start? I don't even know. I kind of know, but I want to hear you give me the whole story.
I'll do my best to. But we were ski bums. My brother Steve and I. Jeremy was racing, and we were getting published in Powder Magazine. We'd been in a Warren Miller film, and there was just a lot happening around Jackson. There was Micah Black and Rick Armstrong and the Jackson Hole Air Force and Doug Coombs. And so, like, we just kind of got in the mix of everything, and we were really motivated to ski and to pursue this lifestyle. And then the Alaska movement started going on, and Doug Coombs invited us up to be heli ski guides, and so we were heli ski guiding.
Did you have like any certifications or anything, or is it like still
cowboy
time?
How it started was I mean, before Coombs became Valdez heli ski guides, people started paying him to show him around, and other people were like, hey, we want to be shown around, and he's like, those guys over there, they know the zones and they know the terrain, and if you buy them, if you pay for their seat, they'll show you around.
Right.
So that's how we got into heli skiing. Or heli ski guiding. It was just a means to an end to ski, and so we were happy to someone to pay the $60 for our seat and show them around. And
$60.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. And
how long did you do that for?
We did that for a number of years, and what happened, and then Doug formally started Valdez Heli Ski Guides, and then now we were flying up in the spring to be heli ski guides for him, and there was no money in that, and so we would end up kind of dry docked at the end of the season, and one of my partners at the time, Dirk Collins, was like, you should check out the commercial fishing thing. So it's spring, and there's this whole summer Alaskan fishery, and we ended up, so we're out of money up in Alaska.
What's the summer fisheries? Salmon?
We did black cod, halibut, herring, and all species of salmon. So we started. You know, we would ski bum, and then we would go guide. We'd make no money doing that, and then we'd go commercial fishing, and we'd make a bunch of money. And we had, no one to answer to, nothing to do, and we were doing cycles of that. And during one of those cycles, we were like, we should buy a camera, and so we pulled in Dirk Collins, Corey Gavitt, myself, and my brother Steve. Pulled in a bunch of money and bought an old Rflex 16 millimeter camera. Though.
Do you still have it?
They're all over our office if you see them, and in our stores. We ended up, back then it was a whole different world. Like, so you shot on film, and the RES was the ultimate action sports camera. It was lightweight. The lenses they had were amazing, and they were super lightweight. And so we bought one, and we would take that up, and I'd ski a line and hand the camera to my brother, and he'd ski a line, and then we'd hand the camera to Dirk, and he'd ski a line, and it was just, but as TGR got more and more successful, we would just keep buying one new camera, and it was the exact, you just bought another of the exact same package. You bought
so
another
you each
RS.
had one, and you don't have to keep trading it off kind of thing?
Yeah, so,
I'm going to go stand over here and shoot it from that side.
Before the digital era, we had... But you didn't have to think about it. You just bought another R, you bought the same lens kit, you got the batteries, and that was it. And then the whole DSLR revolution came around, and it was like, okay, shit is changing, And it, I mean, I think since then it's been a really, really interesting time to be. I feel like I've lived in probably one of the most rich times in film and media and content, because started in this old world of film, and it was just like, this is what you did. You bought these cameras, you filmed, you paid for the film, you edited it, and then all of a sudden the 5D comes out, and it's attainable to everyone. And edit bays used to be $35,000, and film cost $100 to shoot 3 minutes of film, and we never liked video, but the Canon Cinema 5D movement started, and that was a really cinematic kind of experience, and that was when Red had started doing all this stuff with were starting to come out with the Red One and announce the Red Epic and the Red Scarlet, and we were like, the world is changing, and so
month to month,
yeah, and all these little cranes and cinesliders and things, and you just it went from never really reading a trade magazine to just being pinned online, going, what's new? What's next?
Because you got to keep up, right?
What's coming? And on top of that, the distribution model completely shifted, and YouTube came out, and all of a sudden, back in the old days, right? You made a film, and you put it literally to tape on a VHS tape, and the only way someone could consume it is either at like a little boutique premiere that you would put on, or they'd have to walk into more or less a specialty retail shop and get enticed to buy a ski or a bike or a surf film, and so it was there was a lot of people who were resistant to film going away and to the accessibility that you could edit a movie on a $2,000 laptop. You could buy a $1,500 Canon camera, and you could post your content on YouTube, and the world could see it, and and the DVD, the VHS went away, and then the DVD, and then that went away, and it became all digital, and like I remember, I think it was our movie Anomaly. We put it on iTunes for $1.99, and Mike Hatchett from Standard Films called me, and he's like, "What are you doing? Like, there's no money there." And I was like, because we were still selling DVDs. That was how we were making money. Yeah. And I was like, Mike, I was like, I've been embracing this whole movement and seeing where it's going, and really into the online and digital space. And I know there's no money, but I don't think I'm actually going to lose a DVD sale to these $1.99 downloads. Right. But I think that something is shifting, like in the world, and I think that we're all going to be there. And that's always been our philosophy at TGR, is to embrace change. And what happened is, all of a sudden now, those the $1.99 is now $15.99, and there's no physical print copies, or no shipping. And what we also started to find is that our audience broadened, because you didn't have to walk into a ski shop or a bike shop or a surf shop to buy one of these. People, you could give them a nugget of it sounds insane to even talk like this, but you'd give them a nugget of a clip pre-Instagram. You'd give them a short clip, you'd entice them in, they'd get psyched, they'd share it with their guy in New York would be like, "Have you seen this? You gotta download this movie." And all of a sudden we're doing selling more units, digital units, and the audience is broadening, and people are experiencing all these different sports that never did.
You've been listening to the Low Pressure Podcast, the podcast for skiers. This has been a Redmark Media production.